Welcome to Monday Night Live, the weekly training that guides professionals to financial prosperity. Join our community and start building your wealth.
Let's go ahead and get this show rolling. Thank you, Carter, for being here. I appreciate it. And I should be able to share your screen. And if you want to go ahead and well, just tell everybody a little bit about yourself, and that'll make more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, before I share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or anytime you
Um,
want to. So.
so I do go a little bit more in depth in the presentation, but my name is Carter Long. I am in the Florida region. I am an agent, and so essentially I have a social media account called Finding Floridians. I had grown it for really the last 3 years, and so from then. Basically all my experience that I've kind of gained and really honestly seen like the gaps when it comes to actually getting clients on social media to really converting them. And so from that, I basically built a tool for my own business and have since actually released it to pretty much 42 different regions across the US. So really today, like I'm going to be showing you all about more so how to actually build a social media account to really use it for your business. And so basically, the title is What No One Tells You About Getting Leads from Social Media. So honestly, a lot of people will probably tell you really more about like the content and what to do. I talk a lot more about actually building a process and how important having a process to make things easier for you, to just make it a little bit more swallowable. So that's pretty much the topic in and of itself. Was that
Well,
good?
how are things in Florida right now?
As far
So
as
you're
the,
just past the freezing temperatures and putting booties on dogs' feet and coots and things like that.
yes, we actually didn't really get a lot of too cold temperatures. So Florida is always Florida. I'm down in St. Pete, so pretty warm down here.
Oh yeah, great place. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and fire away, and I'm glad you're here, and I appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, here we go. So like I said, this is what the title is. So social media funnel system that turns content into actual clients. So this right here is my social media account, Finding Floridians. I have Instagram and TikTok, as well as Facebook. So pretty much I have the same about following across all three, anywhere from 20 to 30,000 on each platform. And really have done this only for about 3 years. I started at the beginning of 2023. And so really I realized throughout my time that there is a formula to doing well on social media, but also a formula to converting leads from social media. So not everyone's going to go viral, and you really don't have to. You don't have to have a large following to convert leads. And so that's kind of really as I grew, I noticed that even though I had a large following and a large amount of people who would view my content, there was just a lot of disconnect. The amount of people who were looking at it or engaging with it didn't actually become clients. And so I pretty much try to figure out why that was. And really, it came down to I didn't have a good system that took people from social media to actually what they want to see, which is really the listing. And so, you could use Zillow, but we don't want to use Zillow because they sell all your leads. So why are you doing the hard work of getting that buyer to then send them to a Zillow or a Homes.com or even Realtor.com, when their whole business model is to essentially steal that lead? As well as like there are some other tools such as I'm I'm literally just blanked on the name. But we have one within our MLS. But
Yeah.
I personally don't love it because it's really not that pretty in terms of engaging with the client, as well as there's always so many pop-ups. And so just the user experience just isn't really great. And so it doesn't compare to Zillow, right? So everyone knows Zillow, all buyers are very familiar with it. And so essentially through that, that's kind of how I really created this system. And so I'll like hit on that later, but really want to kind of focus more on really social media. So everyone is probably one of these four. Are you like, you don't even know where to start? Like you have never posted on social media. You don't know really what you would post, or even where to start. You might be someone who like sporadically posts on social media every once in a while, or maybe your broker gives you certain things to post and you post those, but you just don't really have a lot of ideas. So you run out of ideas, or you're just not sure. And then you might be someone who posts consistently. You do get a lot of views. You are growing your audience, but you were like me, where the amount of leads that you were getting just doesn't match the growth that you had on socials. Or you could be the last one, where you post consistently, you do well, you actually do get leads, but you feel like the systems that you use are really time consuming or clunky. Like there's no system that allows all of the different tools to really work and combine together. And so out of all of these four, like what would, I guess if we could use the raise your hand tool, raise your hand if you're like number one. You don't know where to start. You're not even sure if you really want to do social media. Like raise your hand. How do you do that? The raise hand button.
Mm.
Anyone? Anyone there? Okay, cool. All right, who is at that? I sporadically post. Some weeks I post a lot, others not so much. We got one hand. Two. Anyone else? All right, and then the next is I post consistently. I get views, and I have an audience. Yeah, two people.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay, cool. And then the last one is I post consistently. I get a lot of leads, but I feel like my system, basically, they don't communicate to each other. All
I'm
right.
sure of that too. I'm
I
like
see.
3 and 4. Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Now this next slide is really, it's all about what I've been saying. Like it comes down to one thing. You lack a system and process to be able to get you to that next level, right? In really anything, in any business, in any step to grow to that next level, you always need a process and a system. Process and systems are the most important thing when growing any sort of business, right? So it's like you have to build, like the saying, you have to build a trestle in order for the vine to grow. So like at a vineyard, they have like those wooden slats where that vine can grow up to actually produce the vine to continue growing those grapes. And that's the same exact thing when it comes to business. It's the same principle. And the same case is true for socials. So you have to be able to have a system and a process to take it to that next level. And so a big part of it is actually a mindset shift. Like a lot of people think that growing on social media means that you get a lot of likes and you grow your audience very quickly and you go viral, but that doesn't always convert into actual leads. And so the mindset shift is that your content is to ultimately move someone one step closer to working with you. And so if you see here, these are some different content. These are people who are clients, and they essentially like this is just listing photos. Like all it is a photo of listings. She has about 10 of them showcasing her listing. She had got 89 people commenting link. And so that's a feature of her platform. So from there, they actually get sent the listing directly. And then you have this one where this was a home tour. So she did like a video of the actual home. And so same here, she actually got a lower amount of likes and a lower amount of views, but she was able to convert 9 people from that post. And so in comparison to someone who had a lot of comments and a lot of likes, she was still able to convert 9 people. And then this one was a video that she actually posted twice. This is Livia, actually, right here. It's Livia.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
she posted this video twice. She had one that went super viral, 1.3 million views. That one, she got 23, basically she got over 50 of these comments. And then she was able to convert 23 of those onto actual buyer calls. Buyers who scheduled appointments with her and called. She had another video that was similar but different that didn't do as well, that only got about 10,000. And so from that, she was still able to convert 10 people from that post. So you can tell like the idea is, yes, if you go viral, you want that system to be able to capture those leads. But at the same time, when you're not going viral or you're just consistently posting, you want to be able to convert. So that's the biggest mindset shift is it's all about the conversion. And so basically this is the three-part system. It's boiled down to three parts. First is content with a purpose. Your content has to have a purpose. We're going to go way more in detail into that. Number two is you have to have a point in which you can capture the people. And then point number three is you have to have some form of follow-up path. Like you can't just post and expect that you're going to capture them or you're going to get them back into your system even once you have captured them. So those are really the three steps. If you don't have all three of these steps, then somewhere in your system, you're leaking leads. And so really we want to be able to make it so that you're not leaking leads. So number one, content with a purpose. Are you posting aimlessly? Are you posting posts like this where you're creating just those listing photos and you're adding in different graphics? This is good, but it's actually not going to move the needle for you on social media. It's actually better for you to just post photos than something like this. Because the algorithm sees things like this and instantly is not going to push it out. But posting aimlessly, like signs that you are. Do you have a content calendar? Meaning, are you scheduled in what you're posting in the day to day? Do you know next week what we'll be posting on your social media or not? Do you have like a goal or a purpose? If you look at every post, can you be like, my goal of that post was to convert leads. My goal of that post was to actually get more attention to my profile. The third is, how are you measuring it? Are you measuring it in how many likes you got or how many leads that you were able to convert? And then is there a clear path from the time that you're posting something to where the client can actually go? So if you have any of these things that you are in agreement with, then really these next slides are for you. So this is the funnel that most agents miss. Most people just in general who are on social media completely miss this. So there are, like, everyone knows what a funnel is. Top of funnel means that's the mass amounts. Those are a lot of people that you're trying to reach and get into your system. And then the next one is interest. These are, essentially it's that next level. The next level is action. In order to get from attention to interest, you have to get somebody and touch them, meaning they have to see your content at least 7 times, minimum of 7 times before they move to that next stage of the funnel. Then you have action. From interest to action, it's actually doubles. They have to see it at least 14 times in order for them to make that next action to actually work with you. So essentially, attention is content gets seen. There's specific content that you want to post in that top of funnel, which I'll go over next. But essentially that attention is you are getting seen on social media. The next is interest. They want to learn more about you, about your business, about maybe your area, about whatever you might be posting about. That is that next step. And the following is action. They are looking to take that step towards working with you. Like they're hot and ready to go. These are the high intent people that have been maybe following you or have been looking at all of your content, or even they might know you. They might be in your sphere and they know you, but now they're ready to commit to purchasing that home or wanting to sell their home. And so most agents only actually operate at this top level. All they care about is how many people are seeing my content and how much, like how many are seeing it, how am I growing? And they care more about the number of eyes versus really the bottom two are the ones that you should be really spending the most time on. Attention, you do spend a lot of time on, but it's low effort versus the interest and action are meant to be more high effort content. So this is like the formula. So this right here is actually our content calendar. This is what every month we sit down and I block out a couple of hours where I plan this. And so if you see at the bottom, I have different content types. So all of the content types are based off of these different like buckets, if you will. These buckets actually go to the funnel. So attract is that top of funnel attention. That's the content that is going to get more eyes on it. Education is you're building trust. So that's actually middle of funnel. So those are people who are really interested in what you're posting about. And then you have showcase, which is you're proving your authority. That also can be personal content. So if you're wanting to show more of like your personal life or your lifestyle, that's also you're proving who you are. Like you're proving your authority, and not only as a real estate agent, but just as a person that they want to work, they want to trust, they want to like. So showcase is more like no trust. This is more that like content. And then you have the convert, which is at the bottom, and that's the content that drives the action. And so if you see here, you have 50% should be attract, 30% should be education and showcase, and then 20% should be the convert content. So if you look at my content calendar here, our attract actually is we have 3 buckets that we do for attract. Our goal is actually to get more eyes, and then our bottom of funnel is like very specific. So we have relatable and skit are our top 2 attract. So those are all blue and pink. And then we also have yellow, which serves for 2 purposes. Yellow can be attract, but it also can be the showcase, the proving the authority. And so like I said, every month I sit down, I block it on my calendar. And how we do this is we essentially take our 4 content types and we put it on the calendar. So we know that if we need 50% attract, we're going to take our content and we're going to put attract, attract, attract. So if you're posting 4 times a week, then 50% of that is obviously 2 times. So you're going to put 2 attract on that week. And then the next is 30% versus 20%. So you might have 2 education 1 week and only 1 convert 3 times out of the month. And so from there, that's where you then, once again, you put that on the calendar when you educate, when you're doing a showcase, when you're doing a convert. And so you plan the whole thing out as far as what your content types are. And then you go back through and I put in the actual content. So how I source content is I am on social media, right? We're all on social media. Whenever I come across a video that I'm like, oh, I like this video and I could redo it, right? You don't need to reinvent the game. What are people doing? What are people doing well? You look at that video that might have done and performed well, and I just send it to myself. I message it to myself. So then I have a long standing message in my DMs where when I sit down for my content planning, I will go to that message and I will just look, and usually I'll send like a little note, like this is a tract. Here was my idea when I saw this video to repurpose. And so when I do that, when I sit down, I easily can go to that message and be like, I'm looking for an attract. All right, there's an attract. Now I can take that link, paste it here, and then redo the video. So this way, everything's just really process oriented, very systematized. So I don't have to guess what I'm going to be posting tomorrow or what I'm even going to be posting 3 weeks from now because we already know. And so from there, to actually it's one thing to like put it on the calendar. It's another thing to actually film it, right? And so that's another thing where it comes to time blocking, where we always time block. We film every other Friday for 4 hours. So every other Friday for 4 hours, we put that on our calendar, and we know that that's when we're going to block our time to be able to go in and film. Yes, question.
Yes, talking about films, how many takes did it take you the first 5 videos that you did? For
Yeah.
example, my first video that I posted, it took
Mhm.
me like 27 takes for a
Mhm.
2-minute video. And that
Yeah.
was like 18 hours, it felt like. It was really a whole day. You
Yeah.
know? So how long did it take you? And then of course over time it gets easier.
It does. It does get easier. Here, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for this. It does get easier. I will say there are actually a lot of tools that can help you. And being able to do that. It just depends too on the type of video. I think that like when we talk about like the attract videos, like okay, let me put it back on your court. What was the video about that took you 27 takes to film?
It was actually attracting agent attraction.
Okay.
And I was trying to follow a script and
Mm-hmm.
I kept messing up in different parts of the script. So one time I would go 75% of the way and
Mm-hmm.
then it mess up. Another time I would start laughing like 5 seconds in
Uh-huh.
because I thought that I was looking ridiculous. And then, yeah, it was like very random like that.
Yes, yeah. So there are some tools where you can actually it's called captions and it has like a teleprompter where you can put it up and you can read through. And what it actually does is it's kind of creepy, but even though you're reading it, how it films you, it doesn't show your eyes moving. It's really creepy, but that is a tool that you could use. Do you have it?
I have it. Yeah, I have
You
caption.
have it.
And since then, they added a new feature.
Hi, I just want to take a moment to thank you for watching a recording of the Monday Night Live class. Hope you're getting a lot out of it. I'm sure you will. I wanted to let you know that, you can come to Monday Night Live whenever you want, but you can also participate more with the team. Why don't you set up a call with me, a one-on-one strategy call? I can go over everything with you, show you everything that we have to offer. For example, did you know that on our team, not only do you get your leads, we actually give you your own account on our lead gen system. So this puts you in control. You're not waiting on somebody to hand you leads. You get to pick the ones you want. Okay. Huge difference. We have 21 of our own proprietary marketing campaigns. They're all copyright protected. We're the only ones that can use them. Okay. The coaching is absolutely one-on-one. We got 3 coaches. We even have a 4th success coach that we have access to. Okay. One of left fewer than 100 in the world. Okay. One-on-one coaching. Right now the big problem is volume. We need more transactions. We need more inventory. I get it. Well, we know how to get it. Our team actually outproduces the national average by more than 2 to 1. So if you're struggling, don't do that anymore. If you're a solo agent, if you're a team, let's just talk. Smart entrepreneurs are always open to discussion. Learn what we have to offer, and then you can make an informed decision about staying where you are or moving on. You got to decide, if you're not where you want to be, you've got to take action to get where you want to be. Let's see how we can help you do that. I look forward to talking to you. Click on the link, set up a call. And by the way, I'll see you on the next Monday Night Live.
Which is correcting your eye
Mm-hmm.
lineage.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, oh, now I don't have to worry about looking at a certain spot on the camera. It corrects my eyesight.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I
Exactly.
recommend it.
Yes, that is a good tool to have. The other thing too is a lot of the attract content actually is, like I said, very low effort, right? So that content that you're filming, that is more of the high effort. You're trying to build trust, you're trying to showcase and build your authority, right? If you're talking to agents, that's probably what that content was. You're trying to build authority. And so yes, do those takes take a little longer? But if you think about how many of those you're filming per month, it should be a lot lower than the actual tract, right? So you don't want to do too many of the building authority and forgetting about attract, because then you're missing out on that top of funnel, right? Which is really important too. If anything, it's one of the most important to be able to actually get them down into seeing that other content, right? So, okay, here's a question. Attract content, meaning when you're on social media, what is the kind of content that you stop scrolling for and you watch?
Anybody? Mueller.
I thought that was for PF, that question.
No, anyone. Open to anyone. What content do you like to watch on social media?
For me, I like stories that demonstrate the resilience of the human spirit, like people coming over insurmountable odds, and you know, I just love those stories. And also, I'm a sucker for like dogs and cats and all that stuff. And surfing,
Yeah.
anything about surfing, you know.
Oh, surfing. Okay.
Yeah.
What else?
Oh,
Anyone else?
Like some creative things,
Mm-hmm.
where they're showing you how to do something or make something.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
yeah. And real estate related, I still like looking at really nice houses. I just do, you know, modern architecture, lots of glass. That'll definitely get my attention, you know.
Yep. Really nice houses.
Mhm.
So a
I
lot
also
of,
like fails.
oh, yeah, go ahead.
I also like fails. Like when people fall down the ladder,
Oh, yeah.
accident.
Oh,
Well, not to hurt themselves, but like a funny
Geez,
thing,
yeah.
or
Fails.
or or a dog running into a window,
Mhm.
because they were chasing a squirrel or something.
Yeah.
It's
The funny
Tom and
content.
Jerry type of thing. Tom and Jerry type of thing.
For
Okay.
But
sure.
also,
Absolutely.
I understand that.
Three Stooges.
there you go. Old school. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Really
So
old school.
besides the, was someone else talking? No. Okay. Besides the comedy, right, and the fails, a lot of what like the creativity, that's like the how-to. So that how-to is actually more of that building authority. Sometimes it can attract people for sure, depending on like how it's done. And then same with like the stories of overcoming, that actually is an attract. So in real estate, the type of content that would be needed for the attract is actually all centered around a pain point, or it's going to showcase some form of listing, right? So if you know what your ideal audience is, like who are the people that are your clients and who are those that you're trying to target, the way to attract those people is to actually produce content that speaks directly to the problem that they have. And a lot of that can be very simple, just a video of you in a house with some text over it. So it doesn't even have to be a talking video where you're talking to the camera. I would say about 40% of the content that we post is actually just a video of something of me or of another realtor in a house. And then we put a problem that a realtor might be having, and that actually attracts more of who, because we're trying to reach realtors, right? We're trying to showcase to realtors about social media. And so a lot of people have problems with social media. And so that is like the best way to reach your audience is by showcasing what their problem might be that relates to them. And you can do that with comedy. You can do that like emotionally. You can do that by showcasing like something that they might have overcome. But either way, that's like the best type of content for attract. And then for like education or proving authority, really being able to either talk to the camera or simple, even carousels. Carousels are like the stilled photos where there's multiple of them. Those actually are making a comeback, and you can add some text onto those screen, where they can then become proving your authority or building trust. So super easy content that you can do, that is low lift. That allows for you to produce more. So an example of like a carousel post. I actually saw this the other day. It was a realtor who said, what I see when I'm at a showing versus what buyers see when they're at a showing. And I think she actually had it flipped. What a buyer sees when they're at a showing versus what I see. The next post was what the buyer sees. So I see that it's 4 bedroom, 3 bath, it's X amount of square footage, that it has a backyard and it has a pool and it has a really nice kitchen, right? You're speaking directly to what is the buyer looking at. And then she switched it to the next slide and it was what I'm looking at. Is there cracks in the foundation? Is there like any flaws that are being seen in the ceiling? Are there any potential flooding? Has there been, in our case, Florida, where I live, lots of flooding? Has there been previous flooding, right? So speaking to the professional as a real estate agent, I'm looking not at how this house looks. I'm actually looking deeper into the things that you don't see. And that adds value of why you need to hire me because I'm going to see those things and you're not going to. And that carousel post did extremely well. And she did not have a big following, but it got like over 200 and something likes, and she maybe had like 1,000-ish followers. So that's like really good for that following. Yeah, very good. So that's like another example of just easy content that you can do. Yes, Catherine.
How long does it take to build that kind of thing up?
So
It
if you
surely
have
doesn't happen overnight.
to build what up?
A following, I guess.
Oh,
You're talking about how many likes and whatever
mhm,
responses that people get,
mhm.
and saying 10,000 isn't much. I'm lucky if I get 100.
No, no, she
You know,
no, not 10,000. She got I think it was like 200 likes and she had like under 1,000 followers. Um, so, but yeah, it does take time. It does. The biggest thing about social media is actually staying consistent.
Mhm.
So like a lot of people say like, oh, you have to post every day in order to grow that. No, you just have to stay consistent. If you say that you're going to post 3 times, 4 times a week, just consistently post 3 to 4 times a week, even if it's just two, but consistently posting more quality content over quantity is actually more important than just posting things just to post them. Any other questions on the different types of content
Yes,
that,
you just
yeah.
said a key word, quality versus quantity.
Uh-huh.
Well, listen, let me put it, let me, so that you could throw it back on me. How would I realize how my content is hitting a quality threshold on that?
Yeah. I would say one, your audience will tell you. But two, the way that you can tell is looking at the professional dashboard of there's a couple metrics, right? If your goal of that content was to attract, your goal was to get more eyes on it, your goal was more centered on reaching more people, then that's a different method, right? You're going to look at
Love it.
that as did it accomplish that, right?
Yeah.
If your goal of that was to actually build trust, build authority, and convert, you're going to look at that as basically how many people might have interacted with it. And so the building the trust and the proving authority is a little bit more of like that gray area because it's not like a conversion. Because you're so conversion content, you should always have what's called a CTA, call to action, always telling them what to do. You can also do that on some of the build authority and the trust. But if they're not doing some form of CTA, it is just hard to evaluate that. But then, like I said, with the conversion, is all about you have to have a call to action, whether that is to comment a certain thing so that you know that they're interested and you can go ahead and message them. And so then you're evaluating your content based off of the goal. Did it accomplish the goal of getting more leads? And then if it didn't, okay, looking at that and being like, okay, why? Why didn't that content? And I say when you're planning your calendar of your content or before you're even posting, you want to look at it not from a realtor's eyes. You want to look at it from who your audience is that you're trying to attract. So, like, put on your buyer glasses or your seller glasses and be like, or your other agent glasses, and you're like, would this attract me if I was that person? Would
Love it.
I would I have trust for this person if I was on the other end of it? And always asking yourself that. Honestly, we could have like a whole other teaching about how to actually have a very specific audience that you're marketing to, and then like building out a checklist on every single post for certain types to be able to specifically target those people. That's like a whole other whole other
Yeah,
teaching.
love it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. In the beginning, do you repost things multiple times to gain exposure? When you say repost, are you saying doing the same? post over and over?
Yes.
No, I wouldn't repost things. You might want to like tweak it a little bit. But no, I would not repost things. Instagram knows when you do repost stuff. So they tend to not push it out. So it actually hurts you. Once again, quality over quantity. So you want to post more quality content than the quantity, which it would be consistently reposting things. All right, I'm
Thank
going to
you.
move on. Yeah. The next is the capture point. So this is actually how people will go from your content to that next step. So if you think about social media and how people actually shop, so social media has completely changed how people are buying things. And so really it's the more e-commerce product space has completely shifted in how a consumer, especially the younger generation, millennials and Gen Z, how we shop is I am not going to Google, I never Google anything anymore. I specifically go to Instagram or TikTok and I search whatever I'm looking for to be able to find it. So, like, say I'm looking for a new sweater. I'm going to go onto TikTok or Instagram and I'm going to search for a sweater. I'm going to look at what people are posting about sweaters that they love, that they like. And from there, if I find one that I like, I then go to their shop where they're selling it. And it might be like an influencer or somebody who is selling that shop or like an Amazon storefront, right? And they linked it from Amazon to where I don't have to search Amazon anymore. I go to that link, I click it, and then I buy it. And so that's how people are buying things now from social media. Is it's a very systematic way of going from content to an actual shop that links that exact thing that I just watched in that content to then being able to check out and purchase it. And so real estate is actually one of the only industries that didn't have something like that. We have Zillow, we have things where people know how to go to that and look and browse on their own. But what they don't have is the ability to go from social media to actually see those listings. And so, what a lot of people do on social media is when you're posting, you're expecting someone who is DMing you or telling you they're interested in a house to then hop on a call with you right away without seeing any details of that listing. And that is basically expecting a buyer to go from A to Z without anywhere in between. And so that is your funnel's leaking because you're missing out on everyone who might be at B, D, H, M in their journey versus that person. You're going to get those people who are ready. They're at the Z. Like they've been watching you, they know you, they want to move forward. But majority of people are not there. And so there essentially was no way to be able to get that gap, the conversion in the in between. And essentially all these other industries have figured it out with this shop because you don't always go to that shop, look at it, and check out. You oftentimes come back to it and you come back to it. And so that's essentially what was created. So this is your homepage. And so essentially it is a shop for real estate agents where you can link your content directly to MLS listings. So when you post a video or something about a listing, you then are able to connect that directly to the MLS so that essentially you create little listing shops. So I will show you really what that looks like. So this right here, the screen, can you see this screen?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Mhm.
So this screen right here is the YHP link, your homepage. So this is our info, our social media. All of these are posts that I posted on social media. And so when I click on a post, it then takes me directly to that live listing that it was linked to. And then from there, I just click the unlock details, and that's where you can create like a new account. I'm just going to sign in because I have a lot. And so from there, you then have an actual listing page to where it shows the little the map. They can view a bunch of different photos of that listing. They also get the just the description of it. as well as it is completely compliant. So you can post any home that you've featured. So you don't have to, like if a lot of people are filming content that isn't their listings. So you're able to link those listings regardless of if it's yours or not, because of really the compliance that we have. And then they're able to explore other listings as well as they have their own little portal to where they can explore additional homes. They can also view any homes that they might have favorited or had scheduled tours for. And so essentially, it's like the Zillow for social media, if you will. It allows for people to literally shop from socials to a place that is completely your branding. So everything is, so if I were to go back, everything is under my name. So regardless of where they go, regardless of if they contact me on that listing or if a listing that's not mine, like all of the leads come to me. I get everything. And so that is basically what I created and the way that my business on social media skyrocketed. So essentially we have basically, these are some people. So Rachel is one of our users. This is actually Livia right here. Rachel is one of our users. She set up the link, and then within 5 days, she had 7 consultations set up with people who clicked her link. And then Livia, she had last month 23 buyer consultations that were set up specifically through this link. And then Karina is another one, also EXP. She had over 700 leads in just 4 months come through this. And so just overall, like the system works. Thank God. We built it well and it works because people want an ability to go from social media and shop something like Zillow. And agents get the ability to, you guys get the ability to actually capture those leads. So you don't have to worry about if they go to Zillow, then what happens? Because they ultimately, you know how Zillow works. As well as the capture point, the other thing is stories are your secret weapon when it comes to capturing. So one of the methods that we even use is because we do have those listing links in your stories, the stories is the only place on social media that actually allows you to put a actual link that someone can click on. The only method in social media. You can't do this in TikTok, can't do this on Reels, you can't do this in Facebook. Stories on Facebook and Instagram are the only method in social media that allows you to do this for free. You can do it in ads, but for free. And so stories are seriously the most secret weapon that you should be using because you can warm them up. You can talk more about you and who you are as a person. Most people are going to be going to your stories when they go to your profile. It's just pretty instinctive. It also allows you to stay top of mind because your bubble will pop up when you post a story. So I have some stories here. She is showing her authority. So she has 7 buyers under contract in the last 5 days. And then this one is just a video that they posted, but they linked the house. So now you're able to go directly to that listing. And then this one is he had sold some properties. And so the link is to see the model that sold them. And so now he's able to get more leads off of the one he just sold. Because by linking that link, someone can go directly to that. They go to that, you capture their email, and then they're in your system. As well as stories just continue to build that trust and authority. So stories, I cannot stress it enough, are like extremely important. If you are only going to be posting a couple times a week, do stories. Stories are meant to be so low effort. You're driving in your car, take a picture of your driving. Post a screenshot of your, like, what are all the showings that you're going to be viewing? Post that. posting a little like talking video of the client that you're about to meet. You can go to a showing, take a quick video of the house, take a picture of the house, post that on your story. Like in every little moment that you have, that's where you're posting your stories and you're showing people that this is what I do in my day to day and how you can help them. And so they're going to be looking at those stories more and more, especially as you post. So don't like, you can batch content, meaning like you can take videos, say like, you go to, you have a day full of showings. You don't always want to then post it on social media that same day, but you can take quick little shots while you're there, save that content, and then post it the next day and just post it every couple of hours in that next day or the following. Um, and so once again, stories are just extremely important. And then the last thing is the follow-up path. So you want to, once that lead has been captured, you need to then nurture it, whether they have DM'd you, whether they have texted you, whatever it might be, you want to be able to follow up. So part of what our system does is it actually does all of the follow up for you. We have different email drips. Anytime there's any sort of activity, they follow or they get communication, as well as you want to know what they're looking at, right? The more educated you are in what the buyer is looking for and wanting, the more you actually look like you know what you're doing. So another thing about what the system does is that I know exactly what that person looked at. And so I then can go and DM them, or I can, when we send emails, we will then tell them, oh, I saw you were looking at 123 Main Street. Beautiful home. Here are 3 other homes that are just like that. And so you're able to give them more the value of what they're looking for, which is at that time listings. And then basically this would be like homework. So the next 7 days, take a picture of this. This is what I would do. I would the first 2 days audit, meaning look at your last 10 posts and your bio. Look at it not from a you perspective. Look at it from who your audience is. If you like PF, you're trying to recruit more agents. If your audience is agents, look at it. If I was an agent in the shoes of who are my current target, would I like this? Would I be attracted to this? Would this be building trust? Would this be converting me? And then also with your link and bio, like is my link and bio actually sending them to that next best step to be able to get in contact with me to join my team? The next thing would be implement the system. So you can implement your own, or you can utilize your homepage, where you can then link all your posts. You have that link. And then the next would be plan the next 2 weeks of content with the specific purpose that you are trying to accomplish, like the specific goals. And then day 7 is just to post them intentionally. So this is all about ultimately the next 7 days, build the process and the system to ultimately be successful. And then that's it. If you want more information on your homepage, being able to just get any more information, you can do the QR code, and there's like links to be able to set up a live demo or more call with me to where we can go over it more. But I want to open it up now for any other questions that people might have.
Because one of the things I started doing this past year, we were all given access to, I think it's called, Fight Now or Now site is what it was. It was it created avatars to do AI bot videos.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of us, including me, switched to HeyGen. It just seems to be a better product. And it seems like the AI software is getting better the more I feed it live examples of videos. So I just want to get your thoughts on using the bots to create videos versus actual live videos. Is there any stats that say it's not as good or better, or you know?
I actually don't know. I think it depends on how much it looks like you. If it
Yeah.
doesn't look a lot like you, then I would say it probably would be a little bit more of a hindrance. But if it does look like you, then I don't think that it will be I don't think people will notice.
Yeah, I mean, I like it because otherwise I could never produce as many videos as I produce. I used to produce them all me personally. And so it's a huge time saver. One of the things I like too is it does get better the more you do it. And the good ones, like they look really naturally. Like the ones for me outdoors are the best ones. When I'm indoors, it doesn't, you can see, but that's really not natural 100%. Um,
Hmm.
but, but also going back to the, calendar. So
Yes.
trying to remember the monthly view. So really, you're starting off with more attraction, right? Then
Hmm.
the next category is education, and you're building in case studies,
Hmm.
showing trust and kind of validating things, and then finally you're basically a call to action. Getting to take action. Um,
Right.
but it varies throughout the month. So like week one might be more um attraction, and then week two might be more education. Was I reading, following that correctly, or did you
I
still do?
would, so if you're talking about a month worth of content, say you're posting just four times per month, just for sake of math, uh,
Mhm.
that is 16 posts per month. Out of the
Okay.
16, if you're doing 50% attract, that's going to be 8 posts. So 8 posts throughout that calendar would be essentially anywhere from 1 to 2 posts per week that you're doing. Actually, it would be 2 posts per week. So you put 2 posts for attract on each
Mhm.
week in various different days. And then the next category is the showcase and educate, which is 30%. So 30% of 16 is what? It would be
About a
what,
third, be
around four?
about five. Yeah,
About
four or
five.
five. Yeah. Hmm.
So if that's, let's just go four, then that would be one per week. And then the
Okay.
convert is roughly about four as well. So then
Okay.
it'd be also one per week. So you could then, if you want to do like the five for the educate, like then you take one away from the convert. So then in that regard, you're just putting them throughout the calendar month. You're
Hmm.
just spreading them around.
So yeah. So every week, it's not exactly week by week. It's not exactly the same. It's not the same. Like each week you can adjust the percentage of education,
Hmm.
attraction versus education. Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Yep,
Okay. Now
absolutely.
on the earlier when you were saying that really on Instagram
Hmm.
you couldn't you really sharing other posts doesn't really help you. But on Facebook, at least in the past, it seemed like the more like if something was a good post that got a lot of attention, it kind of goes viral. More people do share it, like on Facebook. Is that different than Instagram?
Oh,
I mean,
share is different than repost. So I think what Catherine
oh,
was talking about was actually like actually reposting the video.
oh, gotcha. Okay.
Mhm. But no, shares are great across the board. You definitely want to share as many like if you have other accounts. But yes, shares are a high factor for making it grow.
Good. But if you repost, you should tweak whatever you should modify it in some way if you're gonna repost them. Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Good stuff. Um,
Any
okay.
other
Well,
questions?
I know I'm personally interested in this. I mean, what I'm doing is different than most agents are, probably more in production on a percentage basis. They're doing more production and not so much agent attraction. But at my level, it's now, it's almost all agent attraction, and I coach and train everybody. Um, but if you work with people that are also more engaged with agent attraction, like that's where they are in their career, they're more in the building phase as opposed to transaction phase.
Yeah, so that's actually Livia. Livia is more about her team, but a big part of how she actually grows her team is through doing social media. So she
Mhm.
doesn't really take care of any like clients, any sort of consultation. She actually passes off onto her agents. And I think she actually has someone who answers the phones and does all the things. But so that is where she's a little bit different because she is posting real estate content, but as a way of attracting agents. And so that's really where like the listing does come in. We do have like different, like where you right here where it says my links. So that's where you can add in some different links for Linktree. I will say if you're not posting like listing content, like this might not be the best option for you. But Gary, like I have another thing that like I can send you if you're more so looking for those client or those agents.
Yeah. We run huddles on my team. There's different huddles for different purposes. So each week,
Mhm.
we'll have like a huddle we're actually starting one for new construction. It's just like 10 people that focus on that one subject and you just
Yeah.
immerse yourself and get intentional about it. So we have a huddle for agent attraction too. And the 10 people there, what I like to do is I like to do things myself first and try them out and learn how it works because what you learn from doing, right? So when you get all these little nuances and little idiosyncrasies. Um, so what I might do is send me what you have on that, and then you and I can stay in contact. And then maybe what we'll do is invite you to like that specific huddle. There'll be another huddle for new construction, and another one for different purposes. But
Mhm.
um, anything we can do, I just learned that when we focus, take a certain if whatever hours you have, focus on something, it generally generates better results. We're seeing that now. We're really having a great start of the year. Um, when agent attraction, everybody volume's down for everybody across the country. Transaction volume. I know it's going to pick up. It's just everything's cyclical. It goes up, goes down, it goes down, it goes back up, goes back down. But new
Absolutely.
construction is in a unique situation this year because of we're being told we're going to see in the interest rate environment and also a new Fed chairman and things like that. And we're putting a lot into that one, man. Holy cow. We're launching that actually 2 weeks from tonight. We're gonna be launching that. So
Okay.
uh, so
Yeah.
how does this work now that you're 14-day free trial and then you're welcome to share anything about the product or service. I mean, is anybody here you guys want to interested in what Carter has, what she developed? Yeah. Oh yeah, they're interested.
Okay. Show
If you have a
more.
few minutes. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so this is the public link. So this is what the buyers see. So this is what I showed earlier. So there's just a lot of different methods in which you can like get information. The my links essentially is where you can add in additional links, as well as there is like a search mechanism so they can search like they would on Zillow. But the main thing is the agent portal. So I will show you that. This is that buyer portal I showed you earlier, but let me show you the agent. So this is essentially the dashboard, the homepage dashboard, and this is where all of my Instagram posts get pulled in through Meta. So we have a Meta connection, and so it's really simple. You click it. You then search an MLS number or zip code. I'm just going to search zip code just because it's easier. And all of the listings that are in the MLS come up. And so I will then click one, continue, and then it will automatically pop up over here. And so this is what that listing would be. I can then go and view that live listing. This one actually, interestingly enough, went pending. So that's the other thing is if that home that you posted on social media is no longer available, it actually will continue showing other content that people are able to continue shopping for. So it'll
Oh,
show
cool.
other listings that are similar to that property. So that content never dies. It always continues producing for you. Because, for example, if you have a content that you just posted and then 2 days later goes under contract and it's gone, right? Then, oh, you just posted this video and now you can't use it. We wanted to be able to make it so that you were able to continue using that content, even if it went under contract.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have, this is where our leads and insights are. So you're able to see all of the information regarding that client. So let's see, let me go to one that has a lot of properties. Which one is it? See if this one. So this one just viewed it. If you see here, it has just an email. That means it just did the email address. Any of them that did they have, this one has a lot more. So it shows how many favorites of properties that have been favorited, how many I might have contacted on. If there was a tour that was scheduled or requested, it would also be on there. And so this is where all of that information comes in. And then like I said, we have that links where you're able to add in like your different links. And then you can add in additional listings too if they're not in the MLS. So that is pretty much the gist of it all. Like I said, it does just provide, it's like the Zillow for social media. That's like the easiest way to describe it because it allows for buyers to really shop like they would on Zillow, but completely connected to you and it's branded for you. So,
Okay,
yeah,
that's pretty awesome. Yeah,
thank you. Yes,
really.
my baby, I developed it, designed it. I have a team who like did the actual code, but yes, it's been quite a unforgettable journey to this point, but really thankful.
Now, did you get a computer science degree from MIT or anything like that, or?
Nope. I went to the University of Florida.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is really cool. I mean, the thing is, I was in production a lot of years, and a lot of this stuff was being developed when I first got started. And I mean, you really, any one of these different disciplines in our business be a full-time activity all on its own, you know? I mean,
Mhm.
just creating the content alone, my gosh, that's why I use HeyGen, because there's no way I could keep up with what I need to create.
Mhm.
Um, but then all of this you're showing here, the scheduling, the posting,
Mhm.
anything that we can automate like that, you
Mhm.
know, I'm always, I want to look into it because none of it, including AI, none of it actually does your work for you. It just makes it easier, you know? I mean, it comes right down to it. I know there's administrative things. We can have AI create spreadsheets, for example. But we still have to feed it what to create the spreadsheet on, you know?
Mhm.
So in any case, yeah, stuff like this is a huge time saver. So we've got a pretty busy day tomorrow. I mean, it's just this year, I can tell things are going to be really good because I haven't had a year start off like this in at least 3 or 4 years. You know, it is just absolute nonstop, which I'm really happy about because in business, when you're busy today, what does that mean 30, 60, 90 days from now?
Right.
It means you're going shopping for a new pair of shoes, you know? In any case, um, if you want to send me what you're going to send me, go ahead and do that. Let's just start there, and
Mhm.
then we'll go forward. And um, I'll talk to everybody here in the huddles, and I'll just get back to say, hey, for this type of subject, what's your thought on that? Will this work good for that? And we can try it out. And then once people see it working for one person, it's everybody's going to want to jump in. Of course, everybody's budget conscious these days because it's just, I mean, January. You thought last year was slow. This January that just ended was the lowest production January per capita,
Really?
like transactions per population, transactions per agent that they've ever recorded. You know, so isn't that amazing? So
That's,
we're still
yeah.
here. Woo, you know. So, in any case, hey guys, any more questions for Carter? I know we're running past over time here, but do you guys like this stuff? Isn't
Yeah,
that
pretty
cool?
awesome.
Thank
Really
you.
good stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah.
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 I just wanted to maybe interrupt. I won't take long to say it, but Carter, kudos to you, girl. I mean, having a dream, living it through to a vision for whatever the dream is and whatever industry you're in is something that so many of us don't do. me included, you know, to have the wherewithal about yourself to live into the vision. You know, absolutely. And you're right around the corner too. You're here in St. Pete, so
Oh,
you know, I'm within. I used to be in St. Pete till the hurricanes drove me off the beach. I'm up in Wesley Chapel now, but
okay.
yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at your page and I just connected with you on Facebook. I'm loving what you're doing, and you know, you're leading by example. So can't say it enough. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I like how simple it looks, you know?
Yes,
Definitely
that
looks
was the goal.
organized. Yeah,
That was the goal. More simple, the better.
yeah, yeah. What's a sign of a good developer when it's easy for people to understand and use, you know?
Mhm.
Especially us old timers.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know once you turn 39 like me, everything becomes more of a challenge, you know? Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
not far off from that. I'm not far off
there
from
you
39. Just kidding.
there you go. Um, okay, guys, well, listen, if you need me to hang on, does anybody have any questions for any subject, whether it's Carter or team related, transaction related, client related? You just let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna go get some more green tea and honey. Um, yeah, if you could give Carter guys a pat on the back, a hand raise, or a type in the chat box if you want to thank you. You know, did you guys,
Thank you.
Carter, do you want to put up that QR code one more time for people to grab it, take a picture of? Oh, you know what? You're muted.
Thank you. I did put it
There-
in the chat, but I will also put it up.
Oh, good job. Okay, I'll keep that up for a second.
And then it's also in the chat if you're on your phone.
There it is, your homepage.ai. Okay, awesome. All right.
Mhm.
Well, listen, thanks, Carter, again. I'll give Livia a call too. Thank her for this, and when some of you seen you again, I appreciate everything that you did to get ready for this. Did a great job too, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks you
Shout
guys.
out.
Awesome. Go ahead.
I'll giving you a shout out from MIT.
Oh, yeah, yeah. PF's up in Boston. By the way, PF's going to be our next president,
Oh, okay. I love it.
President Pedro. Yeah. So, but, you guys take care of yourselves. God bless you, all your loved ones, and I'll see you on the hundreds. I'll see you on the one-on-ones, and then next week, we have somebody coming to talk about reverse mortgages. Now you can use that for multiple purposes, a lot more than we might think. Um, you guys take care of yourselves. Let me know what you need, and I'll see you on the one-on-ones too. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Bye, Carter. Thanks again.
Thank you, Carter. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye. Thank
Good night,
you.
all.
Thank you for watching Monday Night Live. Consider subscribing. Agents, want to learn more? Schedule a call with Gary using the link in the description.